if you'll be out of here, but...
Yeah, there's no wind even forecast. Holy shit.
The forest has always had two faces. In daylight, it's calm, a place of light where people seek silence and peace. But at night, that same calm turns into something else. Something watching, waiting, sometimes even prepared. Tonight, we'll be taking a look at 6 of the most disturbing forest encounters ever caught on camera. All real footage from hikers, campers, and explorers. The following footage comes from Daniel Mark O'Neill, better known online as The English Woodsman, a British creator who spent years filming his solo wild camping trips across the UK. His channel isn't about survival or challenge, but about the quiet joy of being alone outdoors, simple setups, honest talk, and nights under open sky. In the late summer of 2023, Daniel set out for a simple bivy bag camp close to home. The video begins like dozens before it. No big production, no elaborate route. Just a quick overnighter, some spicy noodles, and a short break from uploading. He says it plainly at the start. He's taking a week or 2 off YouTube, treating it like any other job that needs a breather. It's early evening, still bright. The forest calm and ordinary.
I thought I'd film it, to be fair, for some strange reason. So you can go up there. Or you can take this path. You know what, I'm going to stick to path down here. Just keep walking. Now this is what's good about being outdoors. Free food, if I can reach them. Yeah, I don't want that one, do I? I think it's going to focus all right there. It's a bit bad, that one. Very nice.
He picks a few wild berries on his way in, jokes about the week ahead, and films the countryside around him. Everything about it feels routine, quiet, peaceful, almost meditative.
Just come across these old gates. There must have been something important up there to have gates like this back in the days. I think it does mean keep out, but I won't have a look now. So it looked like a lot of people have been walking this way here because of the path. But that woodland there, it's all fenced off. You know, we can't go in, we can't go in. You know, people might complain about it, but someone's been here. There's a lot of rubbish around here. Yeah, look at the state of this. It does get used, doesn't it? What a mess. Even over here, this is worse. That tells you a lot, that does there.
As he moves deeper in, he points out old gates guarding the territory. In contrast to the litter and tracks, signs that others have passed through recently. Nothing alarming, but the thought lingers in Daniel's mind.
I think it's like a nice little spot. We've got the sunset in that direction. Whew, slightly out of breath walking up that bit of a hill. Very unfit, Daniel. That area. There's been a bit of a fire there previously, but this looks nice. I'm liking this spot.
He finally finds a spot to camp by the top of a small hill, bordered by trees, but open to the sunset. He laughs about being close to home, settles down, and begins to unpack his gear.
What a nice little spot this is. Yeah, it's local. It's not far away from home at all. 20-minute walk maybe it was. It's fantastic, to be fair.
The camera stays steady as he sits under a couple of trees, relaxed, chatting casually about his channel and upcoming plans. The mood is calm and beautiful on this late summer evening, until peace is broken.
I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well. And rain camping is really good. Is that a badger? Hello?
A sharp, deliberate sound breaks through the stillness. Footsteps, slow, heavy, somewhere behind him. Daniel gets up and turns the camera. Then the noise stops for several seconds. Nothing moves. He even calls out, but no response is made, just pure silence. He sits back down, trying to reason with himself. Maybe an animal, maybe his imagination, but the stillness feels different now.
I want to play that back and see if I heard that on the camera when I was recording, talking about going away this Friday. Is that a badger? Hello?
He replays the footage to see if the mic caught anything. It did. A clear rhythm, too even to be random.
There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got to better hear that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like something's just walking around.
Minutes later, the same sound returns, closer this time. Each step is steady, measured, unmistakably human. Again he turns, and again it stops. The camera trembles slightly as he keeps talking, trying to appear calm, though his eyes keep flicking to the tree line.
I am nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Doing it once is alright, but 2 times, it almost sounded identically the same sort of noise. I don't like this. I don't like this spot. I don't like any of this. If he does it one more time, then I'm moving.
Daniel innocently admits he doesn't like the feeling of the place. The forest feels awfully quiet now, but the tone heavy. But as you would expect for a woodsman like him, he keeps filming, forcing those normal conversations as he cooks his noodles over the stove.
I'm just going to shake it off and get on with night. I've just heard the noise again, but not as much. I didn't want to turn the camera on, okay? It was just like a quick.
Then it happens again, one final time, faint but close. Enough to end the debate for Daniel. He stands quickly, begins to pack, says little more. The camera catches the hurried sound of zippers, the shifting of gear, and his breathing, fast, uneven, nervous.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot.
By the time he's walking out of the woods, he's composed again, but only just. He tells viewers he'll post the video anyway, not for attention, but to show that sometimes things happen that simply can't be explained. The noises never return, and no one other than Daniel appears on camera. But the pattern is hard to ignore, too steady for wildlife, too exact to be the wind. Most likely another human, whatever was there, stopped every time he noticed it, and started again only when he looked away. For someone who spent years finding peace in solitude, that night reminded Daniel of the fact that the woods may never be as quiet as they seem at night. What do you think was haunting Daniel this late summer night? Comment down below. Next up is Matt, a well-known Australian YouTuber and the creator behind the channel Field Days. Through his videos, Matt takes his followers on some of the wildest camping trips imaginable, surviving without food, water, or fire, relying only on what he can find around him. However, in this particular video, uploaded on October 3rd, 2021, Matt wasn't on a long survival challenge. He was simply out for a quiet night of camping, in what he believed was just a normal cave. After about 3.5 hours of hiking under the unforgiving sun, the cave is still nowhere to be found. Matt starts to worry that he might have taken the wrong path, but determined to reach his destination, he keeps pushing forward. Eventually, he comes across what looks like an entrance.
But this is it. This is the entrance to the bedroom for the night, and it is not what I expected at all. Hello? Oi! Oh man.
A small, barely visible hole, covered with rocks and branches, marks the spot. Behind it lies Matt's shelter for the night, but also the place where he's about to experience a night filled with terror. Matt climbs down the ladder into a dark, enormous cave stretching out before him. It doesn't take long before he crawls his way into a narrow passage deep inside.
It's pretty hard to breathe. It's very humid. The air's like really thick, humid in here. But that hole ain't going. I'm not going down there. If I get stuck, ain't no one pulling me out. So we'll get out of here. We'll keep exploring around. There's a few more holes that I would like to crawl down. Oh, see if we can get. Sound a good start.
But fearing he might get stuck, he decides to turn back. The air feels heavy, thick and stale, pressing against his body. Yet his urge to explore keeps him pushing forward. Something about this cave feels off, and only minutes later, things start to get truly disturbing.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my fucking God. That was the sound.
Strange sounds echo through the empty tunnels of the cave, followed by a worried look on Matt's face. Goosebumps cover his arms as he tries to calm himself, convincing his mind that it's probably nothing, and it's just the chains from the ladder. But once could be a coincidence. Hearing it again and again is something else entirely.
You can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for Holy shit. Oh my fucking God. You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Holy shit.
Mid-sentence, it happens again. The sound of chains rattling, followed by rocks tumbling down from the cave entrance. That's when Matt realizes he might not be completely alone out here, miles away from civilization. Convinced that something isn't right, Matt decides to check it out. The sounds are too loud, too unsettling for him to get any sleep without knowing what's causing them.
That's not normal, dude. Well, I'm freaking out. The only thing it can be, like, this is a public cave. People can come in this cave. The thing that's strange, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Why would anyone come in here? And the chain moved but didn't, like, if you're gonna walk down the chain, it will swing the whole entire way, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna swing, but this isn't swinging. This is just moving, rapidly moving, and stops. It's the third time it's happened now.
Still not entirely convinced that anyone's down there, Matt heads back to his camp, at least for a while. The next thing we see is Matt, looking genuinely worried for his life.
I've got my backpack back on, and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound, and I'm scared shit. I'm not gonna lie. That sound, it was not normal. It's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I checked in with you guys, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that sound was not normal. I'm getting out of here. Yeah. The bats can listen to this, just listen for 2 seconds.
Out of breath, and barely able to form a clear sentence, Matt tells the camera that he's leaving the cave. Nearly 2 hours have passed since his last update, and in that time, things have only gotten stranger.
So this is the ladder that was making the sounds. Now you're trying to tell me that this big ladder, something has to move this. And it has to move it because a rock fell and rolled all the way down here somewhere. So something was moving this chain 3 times in a row. I got no idea what it could have been. Okay, I'm gonna make a decision to stay in here for the whole entire night. If I quit now, I'm gonna be pissed off at myself. I will be really angry. So I'm gonna stay here. I'm just freaking out a little bit because of just just because my mate, what he said, and then the sounds and the chain wiggling doesn't make any sense to me at all, but at the same time, it's like, it's not real.
However, in the final moments, Matt gathers the courage to stay in the cave for the rest of the night. Fortunately, nothing returns to disturb him as he falls asleep next to the heavy chain ladder. Next up is a video uploaded by a man named Greg Harris on February 14th, 2018. The footage, captured on a GoPro, shows Greg riding his ATV through an unknown forest, somewhere in the United States. For the first few seconds of the video, nothing rather unusual happens. And what you see is just Greg riding through the forest. But in a matter of seconds, something truly disturbing interrupts his ATV ride. If you didn't catch what happened, someone had set up a trap. A metal wire was stretched tightly between two trees, catching onto Greg's helmet and forcing him to stop instantly. What's even more disturbing is the fact that had Greg been sitting even slightly differently on his ATV, the wire could have decapitated him. Fortunately, Greg's speed, along with the wire catching onto his helmet instead of his neck, caused it to snap as he passed through. It's truly horrifying to think that someone could even imagine setting up such a lethal trap in the middle of an ATV trail. But sadly, it's more common than you might think. Sometimes these wires are placed by people trying to keep riders away from their property. Other times they're set up by those who are simply angered by the noise, resorting to violence instead of words. And in the worst cases, they're set by individuals who just want to cause harm for no reason at all. In Greg's case, the motive remains unknown, but one thing is certain. He's incredibly lucky that wire wasn't set just an inch lower. It could have easily been fatal. Thankfully, Greg walked away with nothing more than a shaken heart and a story that would serve as a warning to others about the hidden dangers lurking in the woods. Next up is a video from a small YouTube channel called Camping with Josh, run by its creator, Josh. Josh takes his followers on incredible adventures across the United Kingdom, spreading joy, laughter, and a bit of outdoor knowledge through every video. But this time, things would be a little different. On September 27th, 2024, Josh set out on another camping adventure, heading into the fog-covered woodland. He was simply hoping for a peaceful, magical night in nature. But what happened next couldn't have been further from the plan. Right as Josh steps into the campsite entrance, something unsettling is already there, waiting for him.
I think Halloween's coming up, isn't it? Okay. This is a bit weird. Well then, some kids have put this bed sheet over a tree stump.
Nothing too alarming at first, and Josh brushes it off with a nervous smile, assuming it's just some kids out in the woods, playing pranks. Josh eventually decided to move on, setting up at a different campsite, not far from the one with the so-called ghost. However, it wouldn't be long before a few coincidental things would happen.
Maybe like a little lean-to tarp shelter. The birds are rustling a bit. Let's get back into it, Josh. Get that tarp up and get some food on the go. Right, back in it. I'm camping today, Josh.
You can clearly hear rustling sounds moving through the forest, causing Josh to stop mid-sentence. On their own, the noises wouldn't be too alarming for a night in the woods. But combined with what he saw earlier, it's clear something is starting to get under his skin. And just as he's setting up his tent, something's there, startling him yet again. A stick snaps, either breaking off a tree or being stepped on, echoing through the quiet forest, always trying to keep his content light and fun for everyone. Josh does his best to ignore the strange noises and play it cool. But that doesn't last for long. With darkness closing in by the minute, it's time for dinner. But just before he can settle down, Josh gets the chills once again.
I'm finding it really difficult. Do you know what I mean? You heard that.
Within seconds, it becomes clear to Josh that someone, or something, might be out there, toying with him, whatever it is, trying to ruin what was supposed to be a peaceful night of camping. Eventually, after a while, Josh gives up. As the night grows darker, the sounds around him become even more disturbing. In the end, it's simply too much. He packs up his things and decides to leave, but leaves the camera rolling, just in case something, or someone, decides to show up. Josh later explained that, while packing up his things, he heard a dog barking somewhere in the trees. As he made his way back toward the car, he realized something was following him. However, he never got a clear look at what it was. And maybe that was for the best. Since then, Josh has taken a short break from camping, but thankfully, he's back at it again. Tucker Upper is known for his YouTube channel dedicated to trash picking, exploration, and unusual finds. His videos tend to cover forgotten treasures, or the testing of new underwater equipment. But during a routine filming session in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, Tucker came across something he never expected, a submerged car. And what was even more shocking was what that discovery led to.
How did a car get in here? Holy You are absolutely kidding me that I just found this. There's no way. Super gnarly story. Basically, I was out in the woods yesterday at this lake, and I stumbled upon the craziest thing I ever seen just in a lake in the Pine Barrens in my life.
The video begins with Tucker excitedly revealing the strange find he made the previous day. A car, submerged in a local lake. He teases the details, promising to return to the site and investigate further.
So here we are today at this lake in the Pine Barrens. As you can see, it's pretty early in the day, just from the sun behind me. But check this lake out, right? To be honest, you can't even see anything weird going on right now. But this is probably the craziest thing I've ever stumbled upon across, just out filming. And literally yesterday I came here. I honestly have no idea why I came up to here. I just kind of walked up to the lake here, and what do I see? There is a car completely submerged in the lake.
Arriving at the lake, Tucker is stunned to find the car still there, resting under the clear water, its license plate visible. His initial disbelief quickly turns into concern as he wonders how it ended up there, and why someone would leave a car in a lake, especially with the license plate still attached.
I have to report it. Like, I can't just leave it here without saying anything. That's crazy. Not only is it just suspicious as shit, it's a full-blown environmental hazard. You literally can't see it at all right now. I can just see the license plate because I know where it is. It's suspicious to me, though, that if somebody accidentally did this, it's just suspicious to me that anybody would leave a license plate on a car that they ditched in a lake in the Pine Barrens, where this is like a protected area too. So like, they're definitely gonna get charged with like abandonment. Probably pay a hefty fine, honestly. But... Hey, how are you? So there's like a lake where meets the other road. They call it like
911, where's emergency?
Hey, this is not an emergency. I was told to call from EHT dispatcher so that they could get the location of where I am, basically. Yesterday, and I was literally just walking in the woods, and I was filming in the lake, and I saw a car in the lake, literally. I had to report it, though. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Tucker makes the call, explaining to the dispatcher what he's discovered. He's cautious, but firm in his decision to report the submerged car, knowing it could be tied to something criminal. Hours later, the scene escalates. A full team of divers, police officers, and even a crane truck arrive on site, prepared to extract the car from the water. Tucker captures the intensity of the operation, stunned by the sheer scale of the response.
This is unreal. Holy shit. I didn't expect this many people to come here.
I didn't either.
They got serious, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna have Battalinis pull it out.
Is that the towing company?
Yeah.
So this is not the first time this happened.
No.
Obviously that was the first police officer that was on the scene when I first found the car. And then now there's like 70 people here. And they're gonna bring a full-blown crane truck back here. I'm just gonna stay off to the side and try and get some footage. But basically the police officer just said stay out of the way. Obviously still in the water. And there's about 60 people. This is a freaking huge operation. This is a massive, really, really big deal.
He's struck by the magnitude of it all. This seems much bigger than he initially thought. It's clear this is more than just a routine recovery. Something a little more serious is unfolding.
The problem is on the text message they don't give you the address to give us.
As the recovery begins, Tucker documents the final moments of the car being pulled from the water. The crew works methodically, ensuring everything is in place as the vehicle is lifted from its watery grave. With the car now out of the water, Tucker reflects on the strange turn of events. He originally came out to film a routine video about his underwater scooter, but this discovery has led to a full-scale investigation. His sense of wonder leads to a realization. Sometimes, being in the right place at the right time can uncover more than just hidden treasures. On June 3rd, 2024, a man named Carl from Great Britain was out filming another video for his YouTube channel, Welcome to the Woods UK. He was somewhere in the woodland near his home, a place he often visited to camp and enjoy the peace of nature. A few weeks earlier, Carl had set up some outdoor CCTV cameras, hoping to capture clips of local wildlife. And while he did manage to record a few animals, buried within that footage was something far more disturbing. However, Carl's video started out just like any other. He was out in nature for a peaceful night of camping. He'd found a new spot, set up his tent, and prepared a place to cook some food before settling in to relax for the rest of the day. However, after finishing his meal and getting ready for bed, something disturbing began happening outside his tent. Strange noises started echoing through the forest, breaking the calm of the night.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear, but there's definitely someone out there. Fuck's sakes. 2 seconds.
Some unsettling, almost human-like screams can be heard coming from right outside Carl's camp. After about 30 seconds of non-stop noise, Carl can't handle the uncertainty any longer. He grabs his flashlight and camera and steps outside to see what's out there.
Hello?
I'll be honest with you, I feel like going.
What's most disturbing is that as soon as Carl called out, "Hello," the screams suddenly stopped when he stepped outside and scanned his surroundings. There was nothing, no movement, no footsteps, just complete silence. For the next few minutes, Carl debated whether to stay the night or pack up and head home early. Ultimately, he decided it wasn't worth the risk. Before leaving, though, he quickly swapped the memory card from his camera, hoping it might reveal what had really been out there that night. In the footage, plenty of movement could be seen, mostly animals, and the occasional bird passing by. But on one particular night, a faint light appeared in the top left corner of the frame. It never came closer, and the darkness made it impossible to tell what it really was. Fast forward just 3 days after Carl's camping trip, and that's when his camera captured something truly terrifying.
At 4:12 AM, this figure comes into view. Almost looks like it's trying to pull something down from a branch above, acting in a peculiar manner.
At 4:15 in the morning, a tall, dark figure can be seen emerging from the trees, tearing through the branches, almost as if it's trying to hide from something or someone. Carl later explained that, for the past few weeks, he'd been finding strange, unusually large barefoot footprints around the area. It's even more disturbing to think that it could have been the same man he heard screaming that night, out there in the woods. Either way, it's a good thing Carl decided to pack up and leave when he did, because who knows what could have happened to him that night. And that's all for tonight's video. If these 6 encounters prove anything, it's that the wilderness doesn't need anything but silence to scare the shit out of people. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, consider subscribing, and click the cards on screen for more real-life horror caught on camera. And as always, stay safe out there. When the forest goes quiet, be prepared for the worst.